All right, welcome in. Welcome. I did it wrong. Hey yo, it's NLO. We're in creative, and this is actually an overworld style world. But that doesn't matter. What we're doing is we're going to be building, testing out block job. What are they called? Block palettes. Don't know why the word job was coming to my head. Anyway, our job today is testing out block palettes. Maybe that's why. So I'm really wanting to do a lot of stuff on not so hardcore. And so the beginning of this, I'm going to test out a few wood combinations, mainly these three, because I like the way that they would become a gradient. And I also need, where is my, okay, so I need a few different copper blocks as well. Not gonna lie, that took me forever to find, because I want there to be kind of like, okay, so this will be this is how I build my factories. I kind of do something like this for like the corners. So it's like that there, and then it copies over here. So we have this, and then it goes in with, normally I use regular granite or the polished granite, and sometimes I'll do the polished granite in the way of the bricks and vice versa. So I'm testing out with the actual wall blocks because I want to see what difference it makes looks wise. Again, I never really play creative Minecraft. I don't find it fun most of the time. But if I do this, it should turn into like a standard wall block. No, does it have to have block on the other side? No. Why does it have the crease? I don't want the crease. I want it to be like a full... I want that. I want that there. Why is that not being there? Hello? Why do I not have that there? Why do I not have flat smooth on this one? I want flat smooth. I want flat smooth for all of it. You guys are flat smooth. Why are you not flat smooth? Now you're flat smooth. What? Just like I did over there, but instead we'll have regular bricks in the corners. And then maybe like a line of bricks. Just like this. I would like to have something like cobbled deep slate, maybe. Let me go and see how this looks. I want there to be a little bit of a base. I don't want the whole thing to just start off. That looks really flat. I love the pattern that falls when you go across like this. All right, so like say right there's a wall, and then we cut out at, and then we just kind of like had our factory walls kind of like this, or factory windows kind of like this, and because it's going to be a massive building, and so I want it to be able to be repeated without looking very like unnatural. I have a factory in another world. I don't know if I still have that world. It might be available for me to put up on my realm from my iPad. I'll have to check it out and see if it's there. But it would be like this, and then there, and then like up top there might be something a little bit different. But my plan is to have a really big brick factory, and that'd be where all my mason villagers go, because obviously I'm buying bricks from them. How would tinted glass look if I did that? Just like straight across the outside. Which this would obviously make the inside very dark doing it the whole way around. So that's something I'd have to deal with and mess with. But yeah, it just looks like regular glass just because it's not dark enough. I want to have glass there, but I don't want to have anything that stands out too much. Brown actually looks nice. It goes with the color palette. The ground will be very much darker to like contrast. So the goal of this is to not look super pretty or amazing. It's supposed to feel very like industrial. So like obviously since it's not going to be a house, it doesn't have to be super, or not going to be a house. It's going to be literally factory for like factory workers. So it's I want it to have the vibe of like being there but not being, I don't know. I want it to be feel like it's lived in and not just like built for only decoration, because this is something that we're going to see on the realm day in and day out. Like, it is part of the main base. So like, I don't know how to do like shutters. And we have, do you have shutters on like factories? I don't know. I think seeing the sky behind it's throwing me off just a bit. All right, so I had to make it just a little bit more like homey. Why does that feel wrong? This is why. And you've also already started age. I already like actually did some kind of stuff in there, but we'll just make this one cobblestone on the inside. It doesn't really matter. But like, I want there to be like an actual like irrigation system looking thing throughout the entirety of the build, through all of the villagers, and I want there to be a massive path. And I think I like this kind of path where it's like nice and actually neat and textured on the outside, and then like the inside is like they just kind of threw stuff in there. And then obviously like it's meant to be like cemented over, like glossed over, so it's different types of cement, like just to make it a little bit cheaper. And then you have your buildings off to the like the right side and the left side. So I want this to be kind of like a smaller building as it is. And if I take these all back, I want there to be some shape to it. So like it would go like as it is here, obviously, and follow through. Let me go ahead and pull it out in the show. All right, so to put into perspective, like this is about how large one side of the building would be, and then it would probably like just kind of wrap around and box back off. So you would have the little like extension here where I would love to have like the actual entrance, and then like an elytra entrance that looks kind of like a window, but it's not a window. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but everything will have elytra entrances to the top floor somehow, or an elytra entrance through the roof. So we have this, and like obviously there's gonna be like the windows and stuff on these, but I want the pathways that we have to go straight on to infinity. And then like this is like where this comes in handy, is I can do, so let me just go ahead and break it out to roughly the middle here. Not sure if I built it. Oh, I did. I made an odd number on accident. Nice. Okay, so we'll go into, say, here. So I can obviously just straight 90 angle it. Or what I would love to do is cut it back and then there, like that, on like everything that we have, and then that would lead inside. Like everything would be kind of like a circle pad in between crossroads and crossways. So if you watched some of the not so hardcore, I've been putting off working on the things like this because it takes a lot of bricks, it takes a lot of time, and I have a lot of construction going on underneath, and I have a lot of different ideas that I want to do for buildings. Not everything's gonna be brick because brick is kind of ugly. I don't like using a bunch of the same color in builds. So like for something like this, obviously I'd want to have like a cobblestone platform, and like this one needs deep slate. Like this would be 2 blocks tall, and then the building. So like the pathway would lead, and then there'd be like some kind of stairway entrance and like actual entrance to where it would look nice. But this is one idea I have. I have a couple of others. One thing that I need to kind of practice on is I want to use a lot of stone. I'm not the best at building with stone. So like one thing I want to do is, like, you know, on buildings that have staircases, it'll have like, hold on, let me see if I can recreate it. So since it's all kind of like stone, and it will be for the most part in the final build, but this is like kind of what I was going for and trying to like think of is, oh, I didn't actually fix where this was, so I wanted this to also mimic that, but like I want the kind of like actual like building, like what you'd see in real life, like wrap around staircases where like starts off and then it goes around and it comes back up, it goes around. Like this is just here to kind of highlight the different things. I'm sure if it was actually all stone it would look better, but it would be like the same staircase wrapping around and around, and it would be more so just for looks, like this being a building or something and then it be pushed right up against a building here, or like say there's like a building here pushed up against this part and then like an alleyway or something, because I want it to feel like an actual lived in city, but I don't know how to do cyberpunk or the other one, steampunk. So there's going to be a lot of working around with it and a lot of copper kind of going into different places. Sometimes it might feel like it shouldn't be where it is. So what we're going to have on some of these builds is like copper pipe coming up. No, I'm breaking stuff. So I have like copper pipe coming up into kind of like an outlet, like I don't know how to do it. But we're going to take this style of building, like more modern-y kind of stuff, and turn it into something that is a little steampunk. One thing I did see is with the different style of stone. I saw this cog design online and thought it was awesome, but I don't know if that would work better as a cog or like a conveyor belt. Like, one thing I really want to do is I want to combine rustic, steampunk, and cyberpunk, because there are three things that I really like the style of. Like I like the style of rustic in real life a bit more, and then steampunk in like games and action and stuff like that, like how kind of like how BioShock is a little bit. And then the cyberpunk is more so of like the cities just being really big and meshed together, and then like neon lights. Like I have that new what is it called, I have the new glass add-on, and I really want to do something kind of like this. If I can find the sea lanterns, frog lights would look really good for it too, but those are a pain in the butt to farm. So we could have it kind of like cross paths, kind of like this. I mean, maybe a little bit shorter or like deep down. But like if we did blue, it could kind of look like that. Or like if we wanted to, we could even change it to orange. I feel like red and orange clash a little too much. But like, save it somewhere dark and we don't want a whole lot of the lanterns. I was thinking change it out for the oxidized copper, because it should give the same kind of effect without the light. Maybe not, maybe it just becomes really dark. But what if we had that and we were doing like how we had before, where it was red? I mean, when you get really close, it works. Wish that there was a way to get light through but still have the copper there, because I feel like that would be kind of that mixture I'm looking for. But you know, let me try and tweak around with a few ideas. I thought about trying to get that glow to come through from the sea lanterns using stairs, but it's not working. I thought that it would let light through. Maybe if it was dark. So it seems to have worked, where we still have that copper, but the copper may just be a tad too dark, or maybe it's just some mixing of this throwing me off. What if we only had one layer of glass, and I went ahead and finished this corner. I wanted to try and have that corner open so that way it felt less flat. But I mean, honestly, that's not too bad. I mean, maybe we can still have the corner open just like that. I don't know. There's a lot of tinkering, like I said, and all of the light should be shut off from this side. Yep. So it is just what's coming through right here. But if we were able to do something like this mixed with something like this mixed with some of this, and then obviously like farms and stuff. So the thing I have with farms is I'll try to build one up real quick and show. So I've kind of just built like the infrastructure. So it's going to be just basically a big old like stony silo, and then maybe if we decide to add something kind of like this design where it's a hidden light and then at night it's still lit up, we can. But it's going to be all of the farmland on the inside, and then with these guys I've only built like, you know, a slice of it. It's going to be like an actual ring all the way around, but we're going to have the barrow villager in the middle, and we're going to have fences around him and hoppers, so that way everything gets collected from other villagers. So anytime we need to trade, I want to have like a way for them to get in and out. I don't know how I'm going to do that just yet. Like if I connect them all, then maybe I can just have one central room so they can sleep and then come out here, work, and then I can trade with them in between. So that way there is trade time, furlooks time, and actual like working time. And then everything underneath here, like obviously there's going to be all the water and stuff flowing in the like final build for us, for what we see. And I could have like chests and stuff for all the storage, or I can have it all shipped out to one massive silo, kind of like a steampunky, cyberpunky silo. Or I don't know if I should go ahead and stick with what I'm comfortable with, where it's just like a business class build instead of trying to throw all this stuff into it. I would like to hear your thoughts. I would like to learn so much more about building. This is kind of where I am now when it comes to building, outside of just digging a hole and then decorating the interior. I'm not the best, but I'm trying. I have ideas. If you have any kind of like builds, or if you want to send any ideas my way, you can always @ me on TikTok. My TikTok is there in my channel's description. Or if you want to post a YouTube video with designs, then you can actually post a video to YouTube and put @ and then my username, No Life Otaku, and it will ping me and say I've been mentioned in the video. If you come up with any cool designs that I would like to use, then obviously I'll shout you out, and hopefully I can remember to make a TikTok of this portion, so that way I can hopefully get some more help over there as well. I would love to be able to mesh these three like styles, because like having this, I would love to eventually have like 5 farms just all like stacked up on top of one another. So like one here, and then one branching off just a little bit higher, a little bit higher, and then like one down next to the ground, and then all the stuff be central. Like I can do the redstone and all of the mechanical bits of it. I can't get the designs down, but I love using bricks. I love seeing it from afar, and something I would love to eventually maybe add back in is, where are those little blocks? Boo. It's not going to be completely perfect. There will be bits in the wall where it's like kind of like older bricks that have, you know, been replaced, or like maybe I can make most of it out of mud bricks because the texture of it is actually pretty cool, and then have spots where it's newer. But like do something like that, and then also have like granite in the wall. So like it'll have texture and detail to it. It won't be a perfect brick wall like that. So it's just going to take some time, a lot of resource gathering on the realm, and hopefully eventually I can get to where we have just everything, and then like maybe I can stream the building process. For some of the buildings, maybe there'll be some sort of collaboration going on, but I think like even just those little couple of bits add a lot of detail. But I love this, like the staircase idea like this. Obviously it'll look better in the official build, and this was just a test run. I'm kind of like all right with it, but this is kind of the style I want to go for, where it's just a circle, and obviously this would have brick throughout it and mud brick and the granite and granite walls. But we'll get there eventually. This series is going to become something massive, and this has been me playing in creative to try and figure out what I want. Don't forget to subscribe for more, and stay frosty.